Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and I'm so excited to welcome America's intuitive to the show. Joanna Garzilli is in the house with her tarot cards this morning.
And with a British accent.
Oh, yes.
She's bringing it.
Well, we're so grateful for you. You were on the show just this past year, and we've all connected to you so very deeply because you were so kind and so generous and even offered a spiritual forecast for us. What is that?
So a spiritual forecast is where, think of it like weather, but it's the energy of what's to come. It's that what we don't see. So by tuning in to your environment around you, just think of it like, it's like I'm a spiritual weather girl.
Which is great because the storms, I bet, you're like, oh, in January it's going to be blizzard. But then in February, it's
I love that.
Can I intervene on my own behalf to change the forecast if I don't? That's my ultimate
Wow,
question.
that's brilliant because there are some things that are bigger. That spiritual forecast is the collective consciousness of energy of all of us are contributing to making the world sunny or rainy or windy or snowy, and sometimes we don't even know it. It's like
global warming is a real thing.
Yes. I think we're like the butterfly, like the butterfly wings. We really do have that impact with our energy, and that's why I love this idea of how do we start our day, that we really, sometimes we think, oh, well, I'm just, how am I going to make a difference in the world? But we actually, all our energy adds up to making that impact.
Yeah. But I do think it's interesting because we don't want to like implant and like tell people it's going to be rough and they're like, oh yeah, now it's going to be rough, and then they just go there. But I think it's important to understand what's going on collectively so that we can not kind of take on some of that and be like, what's wrong with me? And so you can go like, this is something that's going on energetically, and now I get to choose how to navigate this storm.
Think of it energetically. We've had rain, a lot of rain this past week. If you know that there is rain coming, and you didn't have an umbrella at home, and you got to go out and buy an umbrella, then when you go outside...
Or take one from Amazon.
It's really that. It gives you, a spiritual forecast gives you tools to prepare yourself. Maybe you can't stop that storm, but you're going to have your umbrella for it, and your rain boots.
Okay, so we want to know the forecast. Give us the lowdown. Is it like for the next month, the next week, the next year? Like what kind of forecast we're talking?
I would say let's just focus on this next month. This year, in general, it is going to be very up and down. It is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. Last year, I saw at the end of 2018, a lot of people said, oh gosh, thank goodness 2018 is over. That was really intense.
They say this every year though.
Touche.
But it really was. 202018 was. I saw for a lot of people in a big way. I think just you've done so much, such work in yourself, you're impervious to it. You're above the clouds.
It was a wild year for me. It was epic, actually.
So there is going to be a lot going on globally. I don't like to talk politics, but politically, like just things, social issues, there is going to be a lot of stuff going on, a lot. But on a personal level, I feel that it is a better than ever the opportunity to manifest at an accelerated pace. We are in a quickening. We see it in technology. We see it in communications. And so if one really gets oneself into alignment, multiple miracles can happen. One can
wow, I like that.
Receive that fully.
Just like
right? Big miracles happen.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to read, are you do it via the card?
Yeah, so this is the traditional it's the Rider-Waite tarot deck. This is like the old school deck. Because a lot of oracle cards are coming now, it's become quite a trend, and there's all these different, and there's a lot of great decks out there. And this was the deck I first learned at the College of Psychic Studies in London. Bear in mind, I'm a skeptic as well, and I worked in corporate finance and all these different things. So with that, I was actually quite scared of these cards at a certain point because some of them, they have swords in them and things. But swords is about communication. But just in the way that one picks the card. So who wants to? Aaron.
So what do I forecast all of this year? Let me pick one card. Here we go.
So a lot of the time, I'll just do the mixing here. So it's a collective.
Okay.
But, so think of, even the way that you mix the cards, you lay out the cards, all has an impact.
And is this forecast specific to Aaron? based on the part she picked, or is
what was he like?
Well, I think for the audience, we might want to do it for the year.
I love that, because if someone's
Let's do it for the, and we'll do it after the show. We'll do some
year.
personal ones, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to hold them.
I'm going to pick your destiny. Just hold on a second. I'm that powerful. Now I've changed my mind.
Ooh. Now that's interesting. Well, but because you did that, I'm going to have to. You just hold back a second.
Okay.
Don't turn that over yet. But that was interesting because you went first to this. So that says to me, without even telling me over here, there's something where the people who are watching are on a certain trajectory. There's something they have in their mind, and yet it's this thing of, or maybe I need to change it.
The universe is like
this
surprise.
But this actually is the core underlying energy that our friends need to pay attention to. But let's look at where we're at with this. Okay, so it's the Judgment card. The Judgment. But this, look at Judgment's face. She's like, oh my God, what are we going to be judged for? I feel like this is a very, very positive card. It means there's going to be a collective spiritual awakening. It means that. And I think Good Morning La La Land does such a good job of, bringing together, holding a positive space. But what do people do? Where can they not get ahead? It is because they are so self-critical that there needs to be more self-love and to be kind to oneself. So I'd say, like, the action, what's the action to create the good outcomes is kindness to self. And through kindness to self, there is kindness to others. And also this fear of being judged, of what am I going to be judged for? I'm not going to go out in the world. I'm not going to put my project out there. I'm not going to go on that date. I'm not going to take that risk because what if I'm judged? Let go of the idea that you're going to be judged and that it is a kind, benevolent, earth, city, town, universe place.
See, that's a huge relief because my fire and brimstone childhood had me believing that was like the end of days. Like,
right?
I'm like, oh, great.
Right?
We would pull that card.
It's Armageddon.
That was my favorite.
It's like the hardcore Hollywood movies. So, but let's look at the underlying card with that. But so the precursor with this is, see, look at that Ace of Cups. So this was the first thought. This is all about emotional well-being, connectivity. 2019, it used to be the last couple of years, it's all about authenticity. Now it's about meaningful connections, meaningful relationships. So that really is a theme for 2019. And it's showing a lot of success and happiness in relationships. A lot. So that fear of, well, things didn't go well in the past, I was with a narcissist or something like that, that does not mean one cannot be happy. Because your theme was right, narcissism. I mean, I dated plenty of those. I'd always go for the emotionally unavailable ones because I would judge myself a lot.
That was so 1990 and the deck. The narcissist.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, know that all is going to go well. Focus on the relationship working out and looking also how can you positively connect with others? Just see the best in someone else, even if you don't naturally like someone right away. Sometimes when you meet someone you go, I'm not clicking with that person. Look for yourself in that person and then love yourself as you love that person. These are things we all know, but it's about practice, right? Hence, which you teach so well as well, right? So spiritual, like putting it into practice. So this is like, and these also, this is major arcana. So this is like big things. This is big moves, big positive energy for the year, despite, the ups and downs.
Love it.
Oh,
fantastic.
Okay.
Yes.
Overwhelmingly positive, but very dramatic.
Sounds like me.
Exactly. Brace yourself. Be sure to catch Life Stories with Joanna Garzilli at the Focus TV network. She's got a great talk show there and has interviewed some of the most inspiring guests. We love you. We love your work. Thank you for your community and support.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You've become a dear friend, so I really appreciate you.
Tell everyone where they can find and follow your personal journey and work with you for their own spiritual forecast.
You can find me on social media at Joanna Garzilli, and you can also connect with me at joannagarzilli.com.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Good morning, La La Land.